Y'all, if you're catching the replay, make sure you hashtag replay. But I'm gonna play a video because I think it's the funniest video I've ever heard in my life. So oh, y'all are here. Okay. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. I'm already laughing. So I'm gonna wait a few minutes for people to join. But you know, let me say this. So as Kayla and I have gotten to know each other, I swear we were sisters separated at birth. I don't know if my mom's the mom or her mom's the mom, but I swear we're sisters separated at birth because everything she does, I do. Like she is a cereal eater. Like she loves cereal. Me too. She is when she opens presents, she's very animated. Me too. Her personality is like me. But when she sent me this video of her daughter hitting a home run, and I was like, if that ain't some Judy Sneed up in that stand, I don't know what. She made me laugh so hard. So I have to play it for y'all so you can listen to how Kayla is so encouraging to her daughter. But that was so me when I was at the ballpark when my kids were up to bat. Okay. All right. So here we go. Are y'all ready? I'm having some technical difficulties. I don't know why it does this. When I put myself on the screen, it won't play the music. So I'm going to remove myself. So give me just a minute while I learn this. Okay. You know, your Aunt Judy's old. So hang on and let me figure it out.
Be. Watch it. Be smart. Go! Run! 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 All the way! Go! Don't stop! Run! 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 Yes! Yes! Baby, yes! Yes!
Can you hear me? Is that not hilarious? Oh my gosh. When she sent me that video, it reminded me of me. I was in the stands and I was screaming my head off at my kid running the bases. Can y'all hear me? Okay, you can hear me. I thought it was the cutest video. So please, everyone in the comments, please tell Brinley congratulations on hitting a home run. I told her, I said, if you keep this up, you're going to have a scholarship. So keep up the hard work, keep pushing forward, but y'all make sure that you tell Brinley congratulations because that was a big accomplishment for her to hit a home run. And it was a solid hit. You heard, it was good, solid hit. So, all right. Let's see. I got my curling iron on. My watches. I had these, I've done this before, but let me get, well, I'll want it. So I went to I guess he's a dermatologist. I don't know what he is. It's where I get my Botox. Okay. Yeah, I know I'm extra for getting Botox, but I get Botox. Okay. I'm going to be honest. I don't do much for myself, but get extensions and Botox. Okay. It's just what I do. And there's these like things that this drops that you put in your eyes to make your eyes bigger. And today Kayla and I are going to be in a commercial. And so they're coming to our farm to film us today. The commercial is for the CCCDD Center. That is the group home that has been coming to my farm for years. They're coming to film a commercial for their center, and they're going to be interviewing me. And so I need my eyes big. So I don't ever use this. I forget that I got it. So I thought today, but when I wear glasses, you can't tell my eyes are bigger. But since I've gotten to be an old lady, this goes like this. And me and she both need eye lift. I tell she all the time, we both need eye lifts because we both getting chunky and old. Anyway, hang on. I think it's supposed to look at my eyes now. I know I'm extra. Oh my God, did I use it all in one? Hang on. There we go. Okay. In 10 minutes, I'm going to have big eyes. Is that not funny? Anyway, it's a prescription. So it's not like something I just bought off TikTok or from the YouTube shop. All right, let's get this party started. First of all, I need to know if Connie is here. Connie was yesterday. I went live while I was cooking, trying to be Susie Homemaker. And she told me that she basically was on the struggle bus. Her husband was a train wreck. And so I was talking to her. She sent me an email. Connie is here. Okay. I'm glad Connie is here. So we're going to talk today. On Monday, I got to look decent today if I'm going to be on camera. But I feel like this is a redneck outfit, but I don't know. Okay, bear with me while I think. All right, Monday, I talked about anxiety because, y'all, my anxiety is through the roof right now. Like yesterday, I had to go run errands. I had to run to the bank. I had to go to the tile place. I had to do a lot of things yesterday. And when I got back and walked in the house, Kayla was in here with Larry. And as soon as I started opening my mouth to talk, my anxiety went through the roof. I'm like, dude, why can't you even talk? Like, what the heck? So I immediately called and made a doctor's appointment because I was like, why is it like I can't even talk without my anxiety going through the roof? What is wrong with me? And it's been used to I struggled with that a lot. I had anxiety all the time. I never felt good, ever. And it has been a long time since I have experienced this. I do not know. You know how I told you, like, once you struggle with something, it doesn't ever completely go away. The things that you have to do, and Connie, I'm getting to our point, so bear with me. But I don't think when you struggle with something like anxiety, depression, these different things, overreacting, these things that you've done your whole life, I think you don't ever stop. Even though you might be like anxiety free for 2 years and you think, oh my gosh, the Lord has healed me in the name of Jesus. No longer do I have anxiety. Like people that say that, I feel like, do I believe God can heal you? Yes, because I do believe that I've been healed. Okay, I do. But I also think that He gives us a brain. Okay, and He gives us, like, He wants us to go learn about our struggles. Okay, He wants us to learn how to put tools in our pocket and trust in Him for healing. I don't think that's just me personally. And I know not everyone agrees with what I'm saying. People think like God, healed the blind man, the guy with leprosy and all that stuff. I know that. Me personally, I've not seen God here on earth. I've not seen someone blind and be healed from their sight. Personally. I know it happened when he was here on earth, but like I don't personally know someone that has been blind. I'm blind. And I can remember when I was young and starting to understand who God was, I used to pray to him that I would gain my eyesight back all the time. I'm like, okay, he healed that blind man, he'll heal me. And I can remember praying and going, why won't he heal my sight? Even remember as a teenager walking to the front of the church and people laying hands upon me to heal my eye. It didn't happen. Okay? It didn't happen. So like I feel like personally in my brain that when you struggle with something, I think that God gives you the strength to get healed, but I think that you have to do your part to stay healed. So, me with anxiety, I have had enough counseling under my tools to know that I have to put tools in my pocket in order to treat my anxiety. Me personally, when I try to meditate or when I try to pray, when anxiety is hitting me at the worst, when I'm at the peak of my anxiety and I begin to pray or I begin to meditate, I make it worse. Now, this is just for me. I know a lot of people will say meditation is the key. But see, let me explain what I'm talking about. Do not, if you're going to just listen to 5 minutes of this live and then judge what I say, you're going to be in trouble. You have got to listen to me for an entire hour. Okay, to understand where I'm going with this. If you just listen and go, oh, she said God won't heal, I'm not listening to her anymore because she's not a Christian. You have got to listen to the whole entire story. Okay? All right. The reason I say meditation does not work, and if you're a counselor or you're like, yes, it does, but let me explain what I'm talking about. If you do not practice medication, if you do not practice meditation every single day, when you have anxiety and you try to meditate, it will not work. Do you understand me? It will not work. You have to practice it every single day because you have to understand how to blank your mind. Like when I used to teach yoga, okay, the only way that I could teach people how to get in final relaxation was to think about relaxing your forehead. So when we were in final, now I can't think what it's called. You know how you're laying down and your palms are up and you're breathing and you're closing your eyes and you're in final relaxation. That's the word. Okay. If you do not practice that all the time, when you're in a crisis and you try to practice it, it's not going to work. The same with praying. Okay. If you only go to God when you're in crisis, if I only go to God when I am in crisis and I'm like, I have anxiety, help me trust you, God. Help me to relieve myself from anxiety. Help me to put my trust in you. If I begin to pray to God when I'm in a crisis, you know what? I'm not going to feel his touch because I don't have a personal relationship with him to trust him. It would be like me calling a stranger asking for advice and I've never talked to the person before. I'm not going to run to them when I'm in crisis and go, hey, I need your help. I don't know them. I don't trust them. But when you have a personal relationship with meditation, when you have a personal relationship and go, I practice meditation every day, that is what's going to keep you from anxiety. Is practicing every day. You can't practice it when you're in the middle of anxiety. It will not work. Going to the Lord when your husband has, I don't know, an illness, or you have an illness, and all of a sudden you start praying because you're in desperation healing, you're not going to feel his presence when you do not have a personal relationship with him. You can't just run to God when you're in crisis. Do you understand? You can't run to meditation when you're in crisis. It doesn't work. When you struggle with something, you have to work at it every single day. And it's just like a diet. It's like a diet, okay? If you don't work at your diet every single day, and it's to think about, like, if you're on Weight Watchers and you're like, oh my gosh, you mean to tell me I have to count points for the rest of my life? Or let's just say you're in rehab, okay? And you're like, please tell me I do not have to go to these meetings for the rest of my life. Baby girl, baby boy, the answer is yes. You have to, if you're in addiction, you have to go to meetings for the rest of your life, because if you don't go to meetings, it's going to creep back up. Me with my depression, okay? I tell you that I haven't really fought, like, I fight, a situational depression, but I don't fight a clinical depression anymore. I don't get in a depression and get stuck for years. Okay. I used to do that. But the reason is because I go to counseling at least once a week, once every other week. I've been doing it since 2010. I have to do that for the rest of my life, because if I don't, I'm going to be right back where I started. God gives you the brain to practice. And instead of, like, if you're in addiction and you're like, oh dear Jesus, I have to go to these meetings for the rest of my life. Okay, it's all in your brain. Because what happens is, if you sit here and go, oh my gosh, I've lost all this weight on Weight Watchers, and the thought of me counting my points the rest of my life makes me sick, you're going to end up right. Trust me, I'm the trophy girl for that. You're going to end up right back where you were. You have to count points for the rest of your life to keep your weight off. Yes, ma'am, you sure do. But instead of it looking at it like, oh my gosh, this is a chore, you have to look at it as a blessing. Because when you count your points, let's just say for the rest of your life, then you're conscious of what you're eating, because you're counting points. And when you don't do it, you go right back to where you were. Same with praying, same with studying God's word, same with meditation, whoever you serve, whatever you do, if you do not spend time with it every single day, you're going to end up right back where you were. Okay, Connie, I want to share with you this story, and I hope that I say something. I hope that I don't help just Connie. I hope me talking about it helps me too. It's not like I'm just trying to help you. I'm trying to help myself too. All right. Over the past couple of months, I have people message me all the time telling me, Judy, your morning talks help me. Thank you so much, Judy. You've changed my life. People message me a lot telling me that. Okay. In the moment when I read the message, it lifts me up. And I'm like, wow, I'm making a difference in someone's life. Wow. But why do I feel so sad? Why do I feel so defeated and sad when people are messaging me? I get messages every week of people telling me, Judy, your lives are you're making a difference in people's lives. Okay, well, why do I feel so sad? Why, like at this moment right now, just saying it out loud brings tears to my eyes. Like you would think if these followers are telling me that I am lifting people up and I'm changing people's life by sharing my story, why do I feel so sad? Connie, let me explain something to you. The reason I feel sad, hang on. I got to be careful how I say this. The reason I feel sad is because the people that I need to hear that I'm changing lives, the people that I need, I don't know how to say this. Okay, Connie, I'm trying to think how to say this, so bear with me. The reason I feel sad is because the people I need to hear it from are not telling me that. The people that I need to hear, you're doing a good job. Wow, you're changing people's lives. The people I need to hear that from are saying the complete opposite to me. They're telling me, why are you telling all your business? Why do you have a big mouth? You embarrass me. You like those the people I need to hear. I guess the people I need to hear encouragement from are doing the complete opposite of what I need to hear. Instead, these strangers that do not know me, that never met me in their life, are telling me that I've changed their lives, but people that I've known my entire life are saying the complete opposite. And I am depressed. I feel sad. I feel lonely. Okay, Connie, I was wondering, when I say this to you, I'm wondering if you feel just like me, but let me tell you what I'm talking about. You know how you're needing your family? Like you're at home, you're doing all the cleaning, you're doing all the cooking, you're like the rock star in your house, and you're needing your family to like praise you, and they're not, and you're like, I can't live here any longer. Like I'm getting beat up. I'm over here killing myself. I'm over here like, does anybody care that I'm washing all the dishes and y'all are eating supper and going excusing yourselves to your bedroom? Like, do you see that your mom is drowning? Do you see that your wife is literally going into the sand into a little bitty hole? Can y'all see that? But see, what happens is I've realized that when you have a family that you live with all the time, that I don't know, that you've raised, your spouse, that they see you every single day, I think what happens is we start taking each other for granted. You're always going to be there. You know what I mean? Like they can't see that you're the one going to work all day, then coming home and taking care of kids and taking them to the ballpark and trying to wash clothes and trying to cook dinner and trying to make the money to provide. And sometimes as a human being, we feel overwhelmed because we're like, I just need you as my spouse, you as my kids, you as my mother. I just need to know that I'm doing a good job. And what's happening, I've been really thinking about this, Connie, because I feel like you. Like, and I say this all the time, if you depend on your family, okay, if you depend on your spouse or your children or your mom or your dad for your happiness, you're in trouble. You are in so much trouble. And me, like, I'm needing my family to say, wow, like, Mom or Judy, or I listened to your live and wow, God is speaking through you. But instead, I hear, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why? And all these complete strangers are coming to me telling me I'm making a difference. But the people that I really need to tell me I'm making a difference are doing the complete opposite. And when you're a human being and you're wanting, like, sometimes we need a pat on the back. Sometimes we need, like for example, like our spouse. Let's just talk about our spouse. Like sometimes we need our spouse to go, "Do you see what I'm doing?" And even when Connie, when you feel like you're drowning and your husband of I can't remember how long you said you've been married. You've been married for a long time. You're like, I just need this marriage to be rekindled. It is dead. It is dead. Okay, hang on. I saw this saying. Let me see what it says so I can be reminded. Okay. Connie and Judy, I'm going to talk to you and I'm going to talk to myself. Instead of focusing on why is this happening? Why is my family letting me down? Instead of focusing on my husband's not noticing me, my children are not noticing me, they don't notice what I do every day, they don't even notice that I'm drowning, okay? Instead of focusing on that, I want you to focus on the reasons you feel like that. So, in myself, what is it that I'm needing? You've got to break it down and go, okay, these complete strangers are telling me that I'm changing their life. And for some reason, I'm needing my family. I'm just going to say my family. I'm needing my family to say that. What is it that I'm actually needing? So, Connie, you say you're on the struggle bus. Like I'm on the struggle bus, Judy. They don't help in the kitchen. They don't clean up after themselves. Blah 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 blah. Whatever you're spinning out of control with, I'm doing the same thing you're doing. So instead of concentrating on my family doesn't help, my family, my family's not giving me what I need. Stop for just a minute. And instead of focusing on why your family's not meeting your needs, I need you to stop and think, why are you needing that from them? Like, why are you needing your family to go, good job, man, let me help you in the kitchen. Let me help you. Why don't you, hey, Connie, why don't you go sit down and watch TV and kick your feet up and let me wash the dishes? Okay. Like, what is it that you're needing? Why is it that this is controlling your life? Why is this consuming you? Why is this robbing you of your joy? Are you tired? Are you tired? Okay. Are you getting enough sleep? Okay. Because if you don't get enough sleep, or you have other stress in your life, like let's just say that, I don't know, your grandkids not doing well. Let's just say, your grandkids not making right decisions. And in your subconscious mind, all you can be consumed with is going, okay, my grandkid is a teenager and he's making wrong decisions, and that's really on your subconscious mind, but you're taking it out on your spouse because you're like, oh my gosh, you never help me clean the dishes, you do not clean up after yourself, and you find yourself spinning and blaming everything on your spouse. But really in your subconscious mind, what's bothering you is your grandkid making wrong decisions. So Connie, I need you to really think about, what is it that's bothering you? What is it that's setting you over the edge? And for me, I'm going to break mine down because I don't know your whole situation to help you break it down. Protein? Anybody? Okay. When I break my situation down and I go, why are like I'm going to say this. I'm going to give you an example too. People drive from all over the state to come meet me and Shane. This weekend, this 71-year-old woman that doesn't even know me wanted to spend her birthday with me. And I can't even get my family to come here. People pay money to come to my farm. And the people that I really need in my life are not here. But why? Why? What is it? Why do complete strangers send me gifts and my own family doesn't even acknowledge my birthday? Is it, and see, when you're a human being, you try to you try to figure out why. Or maybe you don't try to break it down. You just go, this sucks. You know, my family members drive right by my house and don't stop, but people drive hours to come meet me. Like, what the heck? You know, Connie, you might be doing that as well, going, the people that I live with hate my guts. But these people on social media, they love me. I mean, they're holding my hand going, Connie, this is going to be okay. You know, here I am, a creator, thinking about you, Connie, and I'm like, let me try to help her. I don't even know you, Connie. I don't even know what you look like. I don't even know what state you live in, but I'm like, let me help her. And you're like, but I just need my spouse to put their arm around me and tell me they love me. And a complete stranger is doing a whole segment trying to help me. It's weird. You have to break down and figure out what you're trying to do. Like why is this bothering? Why are you concentrating on what you need from your husband? What is it in your brain that's lacking that makes you depend on your happiness from your children or your spouse? What is it? For me, this is what I think. When I break it down and go, okay, why am I concentrating on my family not calling me or acknowledging my birthday or what? Like, why is this bothering me so bad? Like, why am I depending on this person for my happiness? What's that all about? And Connie, when you break it down to figure out why you're letting the people in your house control your happiness, you're going to figure it out. You've got to break it down. For me, my family has disappointed me my whole life. They have. My mother let me down. My dad let me down. My mother was a little wild woman. Okay, she was. We were a lot alike. She had my personality, but growing up, she was. I think in my head, my mom was so hurt over my dad leaving that. You know how, like, when you get a divorce, you kind of lose it. You start losing weight and you dress all sexy and you go to the bars. You know what I'm talking about. When you get divorced, you kind of go off the deep end. And I think that's what happened to my mother. I think she just got into partying and Was she a bad mother? No, my mom was a good mom, but I just think that she didn't have any tools in her pocket to deal with life. She didn't. She disappointed me a lot. And, you know, as a child, when your parents let you down, it's sad as a child. My mother had and I'll just tell you, my mom, I don't know how to put this. I'm gonna tell you how this one situation. I may have told this before. I can't remember. My mother was violent when it came to us studying for a test. My mother worked long hours, okay? And what would happen is half the time we had to go to the ballpark, right? So, like, if we had a test the next day and my mom was helping us study for it, she would get so pissed off. Like, it was awful. She did not make studying fun. I think what it was is my mother was really tired because she worked all day. She'd been at the ballpark all night, and then it's 8, 9 o'clock at night, and she's trying to quiz us for an exam, and she's just pissed off. And she would get violent with us. She really would. She would beat the snot out of us. If she asked us questions for our science test and we didn't know the answers, we got the crap beat out of us. So I can remember as a child, I can remember like I would have severe anxiety if she had to come home from work and help me study for a test. I would either not tell her I had a test but this one particular day, I had been to the dentist, okay? And I think I had a feeling because my mouth was numb. Well, after the dentist, she sent me home. She took me to the house and she said, I want you to go study for your test because when I get home, I'm going to ask you questions. My anxiety started because I knew it was not going to end well. I was going to get the crap beat out of me because I would not know the answers to the test. When I would go to study, I couldn't even consume what I was reading because I was too worried about what was going to happen when my mom started asking me questions for the test. And was my mother an abuser? No. I mean, I just think that my mom was overwhelmed. My mom was a single mom trying to work. And having 3 kids, my dad left when I was in 1st grade. My mom was overwhelmed. My mom didn't work when my parents were married. So when my dad up and left my mother, it caught her off guard. Okay, so anyway, this particular day I had been to the dentist. She told me to go home and study. I was having anxiety like crazy about studying for my test because I knew what was going to happen. Do you know what I did? My mouth was numb. I was having anxiety. I didn't want my mom to ask me questions for my test. So I took my tooth and I bit all the way through my lip while my lip was numb because I couldn't feel it. I bit all the way through my lip and told my mom that I accidentally bit through my lip. My lip was swelling out to here, so I didn't have to study for my test with my mother. That was stupid, wasn't it? But I was a child and I was scared. And so, like, my mother had let me down. And so, my whole life, my dad was an alcoholic. My dad let me down. My dad wasn't really that involved in my life. I never really knew my dad. My dad let me down. My kids have let me down. Shane has let me down. Everyone has let me down because they're human beings. That's what people do. When you depend on other people for your happiness, when I depend on my mother for my happiness, my dad, my children, Shane, I'm headed for a dead end. Connie, if you're depending on your spouse or your children or whoever live with you to get off their butt and help you with the dishes and all, you're headed for a dead end. You're headed for a straight dead. Oh, you're headed for a dead end. You can't do that. So how, when you're in the middle of living and your family is constantly let you down, because that is what everyone has let me down. And I'm like, wow, my expectations of everybody must be way up here because everyone has let me down. Like even with this social media, like I I feel let down by my family. I'm like, y'all, like when I've been on the front of 2 magazines. Okay. I've been on the front of the Combach. A lady messaged me yesterday. She goes, "You look just like the lady on the Combach advertisement." I'm like, you know why? Because I am. I'm like, that is me. And she was like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, yes. Like that was a huge accomplishment. I wanted my children and my husband and my dad and mom and everybody to be so proud of me. Like I wanted everyone, like I just needed some reassurance that I was doing a good thing. Like, do you see me? Even as, a mother and a daughter, you still want your parents to be proud of you. And when you don't get what you need from your family, no matter how many people send you an email telling you that you're changing their life and that you're doing so much, and thank you for your words of encouragement. Aunt Judy, I listen to you every single morning, and oh my gosh, you have helped me through suicide. You've helped me through this. Every one of those emails, and I'm still feeling sad. Connie, you see what I'm saying? We do that because like we get stuck when it comes to our family. We need certain things from them and we can't get it. I can't get it from my mom and dad. Well, first of all, they're not here any longer. I can't get it from them. My children have their own lives. My children are going to work every day and they're trying to pay a house payment and rent and keep their animals up and trying to figure out life themselves. And so like sometimes as a mother, when our children do that, we're like, don't forget your mom. Don't forget your mom. And they're like, Mom, I love you. And I'm like, but you're not giving me what I need. And they're like, what do you need? Like, what the heck? And you have to stop and go, why am I so needy of my kids? Like, what is it? Like, what are we needing from our spouse? Why have I been married? I can't remember how long you told me you had been married, Connie, but I know it's a long time. You've been married like 30 something years. Why is my spouse letting me down so much now? Like I've been married to this dude for 30 something years. And why am I so needy? Like, what am I needing? What is wrong with me? Because I'm telling you that when you consume yourself in wanting your spouse or your children or whatever to meet your needs, you're going to constantly, you know what you're going to do when you do that? You're going to miss your blessing. All these people are messaging me and I still feel let down. I'm missing my blessing because I'm concentrating on my family meeting my needs. That's a lot of pressure to your children. It's a lot of pressure to your spouse because they're just trying to survive themselves. Your husband might be going, she doesn't meet my needs. All she does is run around this house. All she cares about is cleaning the house. She don't give me any attention. All she does is sit and knit socks and cook. She never meets my needs. I have realized with Shane. Shane lets me down a lot because I depend on him for my happiness. A lot of times I do. I do. And he lets me down. And when you close your mouth, Connie, today I want you to close your mouth and listen to what your family's saying. And I want you to break it down because, like, it might be that you're wanting your spouse to physically help you, like clean the house, let's just say. And then there's this girl over here that's going, I wish I could just clean my house. My husband has OCD and won't even let me dust the daggum living room. You know what I'm saying? So, like, always, the grass looks greener on the other side. And this girl's over here going, my husband drives me crazy because he walks around. And the reason I'm saying this is because I had a husband with OCD that wouldn't let me clean. And I can remember going, if I could just put the daggum sheets on the bed right, or if I could just put the groceries in the pantry right. But, like, I couldn't do nothing right because my husband had OCD. And in the moment, I would have loved to have been you and been able to cook and clean. You see what I'm saying? So, like, I think when you break it down, and I realize that my family has let me down my whole life, it feels sad. It feels so sad that there's people coming from all over wanting to meet Shane and I can't even get our own family to pull in the darn driveway. Shane and I we've talked about it several times. I'm like, doesn't this suck? I'm like, don't this suck? You know what I'm saying? Like, God. But, it's like, I'm sure if the roles were reversed and our family got interviewed, if our family got interviewed about Shane and I wonder what they'd say I bet they would say that Shane and I disappoint them. Like, Shane has disappointed me so much. Judy, all Judy cares about is her followers. All Judy cares about is her farm animals. You can't even get her to get away from the house for 2 seconds because she's all into this farm thing now. Like, she's gone over the top. And I'm sure they say about me. I'm sure they do. Because in a way, it's kind of true. I won't leave my farm. I mean, do you know how much I must get on my family's nerves when they go, hey, do you want to go out to eat tonight? Well, I have to be home to put the animals up. Oh, dear Jesus, here we go. Can't even go out to eat because she's got to put the animals up. And I do. But see, I'm sitting here let down by my family. But can you imagine how I let my family down? Because I'm so into my farm. They're like, would you hang on? I was trying to look for my, you know what I'm saying? If you got outside of the box, Connie, and go, okay, let me be my spouse for 1 minute. Let me, I don't know his name. I'm just going to call him Henry. Let me be Henry for 1 minute. How does he feel? What do I do all day? Do I sit and complain all day long? Like, does he have to hear me complain that he never does nothing around the house? I mean, can you imagine what a nag you are if you do that? You know what I'm saying? All Connie does is sit around and gripe, says I don't do nothing around the house. And Connie, you're like, you don't. You literally sit on your butt all day long and do not do anything to help me. Stop. Why are you feeling the way you're feeling? You need to break it down and figure out where all this is coming from. Because it's probably a combination of things. It's probably, number one, you're not happy with yourself. I know for me personally, when I start breaking things down and I go, what is wrong with you, Judy? Like, I have to go physically look in the mirror and go, what the crap is wrong with you? You so fussy, Judy? It's usually because of my insecurities. It's usually because I've ate wrong, I ain't drank enough water, I've been going 90 to nothing without stopping and meditating or taking a breath or spending time with God. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. You know, I'm just trying to survive. I'm like, oh God, my dad's sick. I got animals about to give birth. I'm trying to figure out how to pay for my farm. I feel stressed out. My husband's screaming he wants dinner and I don't feel like cooking. I feel overwhelmed. You got to stop and figure out what's wrong with you. Like, what? Quit concentrating on what your husband's not doing. Because your husband is doing something. First of all, he's held your hand for 35 years and never left you. A lot of women can't say that. Their husbands have given up or they've given up on their spouse. Like, try to find the things that are good that's going on. You know, there's so much, like, you have been married for so long. And instead of concentrating, oh my gosh, I have been married for 35 years. And if I have to see his face one more time, I'm going to scream. Figure out how to fall in love with him again. Don't depend on him to fall in love with you. Because if you do, you're going to end in a dead end. But if you figure out how to fall in love with him again, when you start healing you, Connie, and you start figuring out what's wrong with you, like, why am I on the struggle bus? Like, I am a total train wreck. Why am I a train wreck? Why am I so mad at everybody in the house for not lending a hand? What is wrong with me? When you begin to start fixing you, you would be surprised at what will happen to your marriage. There is a book, I used to have it right, called Love Dare. Have y'all ever heard of it? It's called Love Dare. Okay. If you have a rocky relationship with someone, I suggest you go get Love Dare. Love Dare is about, it was this woman that she was on the edge of a divorce. Let's see. I think it was a woman. She was on the edge. I hope I'm saying this story right. She was on the edge of divorce. Like, she hated her spouse. Like, she's like, I hate this. I want to get a divorce. Like, I hate him. And she took, I think it was 30 days. She took this 30-day challenge, and every day she did something for her spouse. Like, I don't know, the first day she just took a cup of coffee to him. The next day she may have, I can't remember everything she did for her spouse, but this book will guide you through what to do for 30 days for your spouse. Okay. You cannot tell your spouse you're doing this. Okay. You're going to have to, like, do it under the table. Right. But it'll help you. Love Dare will help you, guide you on how to concentrate. Now, listen to me, for example. Listen to me. If you start doing Love Dare with expectations that he's going to, like, come help you wash the dishes, you're in trouble. You have to do Love Dare without expecting anything in return. All you should expect is that you have inner peace. If you're expecting your spouse to go do back handsprings in the front yard because he's so in love with you, you're headed for a dead end. You have to go in going, I need to fix me. I need to be a better wife. I need to have peace. I'm miserable. Like, I need to have peace in my life. My family has let me down my entire life, and I need to quit concentrating on needing my happiness from them. I need the happiness from within. I need to know as a person that I do let people down. I'm a human being too. Like, you have to pull your happiness and your joy from the person that created you. because he knows your brain. He knows your every thought. He knows how many hairs are in your head. He gets you because he created you. When you're depending on someone that did not create you to pull your happiness, it's just like when I went live yesterday and asked Shane to go get the noodles. I went live and I was cooking, and I realized that I didn't have the noodles that I needed for my casserole. So I already knew Shane was going to tell me no. I already knew that. Like in the beginning of our marriage, because Shane does that every time. Anytime I ever say, "Hey, will you do this?" He says no. He is so he is awful. He will tell me no. But then he'll say no, and then he goes and does it. And I'm like, "Why do you do that, you weirdo? Like, why don't you just be nice and say, I would be glad to go to the store and get you some noodles for your casserole." That's what I need to hear. Sure, Judy, I'll be glad to go to the store. He is not doing that. He is not doing that because that is not who he is. And if I sit here and have these expectations that my husband's going to come in like a knight in shining armor and do all these things for me, I'm in trouble. Girl, I have to do them myself. Like, I had to learn. I've said this before. Shane is not a gift giver. He's not. He is not going to the store. My birthday's coming up. Okay. He is not bringing me flowers. He is not buying me a birthday present. He is not. Because in his brain, I'm building you a hay barn. I put up a fence last year, and you want to ask me for a birthday gift? Are you kidding me? Do you know how much that fence cost, Judy? And I'm like, dude, you put up that fence like a year ago. It's my birthday. Are you kidding me? So this fence is my birthday present for the rest of my life? Yes. Yes, Judy, it is. I learned really quick that when it comes to holidays, I can't depend on my children, nobody, for my happiness, because I will get let down. If you're that girl that needs to feel special on her birthday and you have a family like mine, you're in trouble. So I don't do it anymore. I go do for myself. I go every single year during Christmas. For Christmas, I went and got myself granite for my bathroom. I was like, I want new countertops. I'm going to go buy granite for Christmas for myself. And I feel happy. And I'm not mad that I didn't get a present or didn't get a card. I'm not mad because I've learned to take care of myself, because when you depend on your spouse to meet your needs, you're in trouble. You gonna have to go do it yourself. When it's your birthday and you're wanting someone to celebrate, go celebrate the birthday yourself. Go put money back all year long and go buy yourself some granite. Don't wait on your spouse to go, honey, you want granite for your birthday? I'll go get you some. You just go to the store and you pick out your granite and I'll buy it for your birthday. That is not happening in my life. It is not. And for the longest time, my battery's about to die. I'm long-winded today, and I'm sorry. Hang on, let me plug my computer in. I've learned not to depend on my happiness from Shane. I've learned. But see, what happens is when I don't depend on my happiness from Shane, I have a better marriage because I'm not let down. Like in the beginning of our marriage, he did things totally different for me. And I was like, oh, dear Jesus, I've made a mistake again. And I said, you know what? I can't, I just got to do it myself. Everything that I'm insecure about, I'm just going to have to do it myself, because if I depend on him to do it, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Shane, when I learned how to take care of myself and not depend on him for this, that, and the other, was the moment I had peace. I had peace. When you can take care of yourself, whether it's physically, whether it's emotionally, whether it's financially, when you can take care of yourself, you feel confident. You know, if you're the type that depends on someone else for your financial, like if you, I don't know, if you spend, your husband's always worked and you were stay at home mom, you probably get me when I talk about finances, because when you stay at home, it's like you feel like you don't contribute, and then your kids get older and you've never worked and you're like, well, I can't go in the workforce now. I've never worked. Like, I don't feel confident. You feel this financial struggle. And you're like, if something ever happens to my spouse, I'm screwed because I've never worked my whole life. You know, if that bothers you, you need to go fix it. You need to go fix it. If you're dependent on your spouse for your financial gain, you're in trouble. You can't do that. You're going to be, your whole entire life, you're going to have this hiccup in your life about your finances. If it's your weight that bothers you and you're like, I just don't feel pretty. You know, I don't want to lay down with my spouse because I don't feel pretty. I don't like the way I look. You need to go fix it, sister. You need to go fix that. And you know what? You're like, oh, Judy, I have been on every diet. I can't lose weight. That's a lie that you're telling yourself. That's a big fat lie. That is yourself telling you that you can't do it because you're a failure. You're not a failure. You just haven't tried hard enough. You've given up. You know how I see here in the beginning of this conversation, I talked about like when you struggle with something, you have to work at it every single day. Well, a diet, if it's your weight or you know, you don't feel pretty, so there's a hiccup in your marriage because you don't feel pretty. Or if you're a man and you're like, I just don't feel good about myself. You know, I look a train wreck and I go out and she's looking at other men and I'm a fat butt or whatever you tell yourself. Okay. You have the power. Listen to me, sister and brother. You have the power to change yourself. You do not have the power to change your spouse, your kids, your family, whatever happened to you when you're little, but you have the power to change from today forward. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir, you do. You have the power to change yourself right this minute. You hate yourself. You hate the way you look. You hate the way you act. You know what? You have the power to change yourself. You hate your marriage. You have the power to change that. Yeah, you do. You can't change your spouse, but you have the power to change your mindset to get yourself happy. Because if you're, again, depending on your marriage for your happiness, you're going to be failed. You're going to hate your life. You're going to die being miserable. You are. If you are just setting your standards on your marriage, you're going to be in trouble. Go make yourself happy. And then all of a sudden, when you make yourself happy, all of a sudden the other relationships around you start fixing themselves. Because I'm going to tell you something. Happiness is contagious. It is contagious. Sadness and depression is not. It's misery. But when you go and start fixing yourself, all of a sudden your marriage is better, your relationship is better, your health is better, you look and you stand prettier, you stand with confidence. It all changes. We've all, let's talking about weight. We've all lost weight in our life, right? And the confidence you feel when you lose weight. You feel pretty, your marriage is better. It's like it's when you take care of yourself physically, it's amazing the difference in you. You carry yourself different. You do. It's the same thing when you're completely healed. I talk about, healing is spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. When all those things are in balance, you carry yourself totally different and you look at your marriage different. You look at your situation different. Does that mean that's going to be like that the rest of your life? No. You know how I told you in the beginning that you have to work at it every single day? If you stop working on yourself every single day, you're going to slip right back into depending on your spouse for your happiness. I'm miserable in my marriage. I feel like a prisoner in my house. I'm the only one that cleans. I'm the only one that does anything. You're going to feel like a prisoner all over again if you do not work on yourself being balanced every single day. If you're depending on your peers to make you happy or build your confidence, you're in trouble. But when you work on yourself and you balance, and when things are going to get out of balance, you're going to work on yourself physically, and then you're going to get yourself physically better. And then you're a train wreck spiritually because you haven't been meditating every single day. And then you're like this and you're not in balance. When you take a little bit and go, okay, what am I going to do? You know how like you make a menu, like your menu for the week? You need to make a menu of what you're going to do to work on your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual balance. You need to make a calendar and go, okay, I'm going to take my lunch hour and I'm just going to sit in my car and meditate with no phone, my nose is running, no phone, no interruption. I'm just going to sit here and enjoy the moment. I'm going to look at the birds. I'm going to listen to the birds. I'm going to smell the smell of spring. I'm going to sit here for 5 minutes and meditate. Did I say meditate for an hour? No, I said 5 minutes. What are you going to do to keep yourself balanced? It is work. It does not happen instantaneously, and it doesn't stay like that. You have to work at it every single day. And I'm going to tell you, you're no different than someone that is in recovery. You are no different. You are no different at all. Because what happens is you don't go to recovery and walk away without working on the program. The second you do that, you're going to find yourself right back where you started. Why do I say this? Because I've been there. I know how this works. I've been there. Listen, it's not like it's a rocket scientist to learn all this. Figure yourself out. Figure out what triggers you, like what pisses you off. What makes you mad? Learn your triggers. Avoid your triggers. Avoid your triggers. Because, oh Lord, I'm so long-winded. And my computer is not charging. There it goes. I'm sorry I'm long-winded. I'm trying to hurry. Am I making sense? Am I making sense to y'all? Does it make sense? And people start trying to concentrate on other people's crap. Oh, they're going to hell. They got so much sin in their life. People concentrate on other people's crap. You need to concentrate. Don't concentrate on what your spouse is not doing. Concentrate on what you're not doing. You can't fix him. You're going to be miserable the rest of your life. Fix you. You hear me? Is Connie still here, or have I like bored her to death? I don't know if she's still here. Connie, I hope that I'm making sense to you. If you want a happy ending, you have to write the story. You can't let people write the story for you. You have to write your own story. And no matter how many times people tell you, don't do this, you got to figure it out yourself. Sister, you got to figure it out. You can't let other people tell you what to do, because just because something works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for somebody else. You got to figure yourself out. You have to figure out what triggers you, what makes you happy. And like, what makes me happy is, I don't know, I hate that I concentrate on my family for my happiness. It drives me crazy. I mean, like, Judy, quit consuming yourself with your family making you happy, because you're screwed. How do you, Judy, you're 53 years old, and you're continuing to make your self-worth of what your family thinks. But sometimes we tell ourselves that our family's saying certain things about us, but it's not our family saying it, it's ourselves saying it, because we think that's what our family thinks. And they've never said those words, but we've taken it to, they've said something, it triggered us, and we took it to outer space, and we created this situation that actually has not happened. It's what made us feel that way, because they triggered us. I don't know if that made sense. We might have to talk about that another day. Oh, Lord, it is 8:15, and Judy done gone to church. Can't see. I love y'all. I forgot to say this. I'm preaching. Karen Fan, which is, she's always here in the mornings. She is now a moderator with Kayla. Never thought that I would get big enough to need 2 moderators. And she's going to be moderating too. So it'll be Kayla and Karen on here talking. When you see like people commenting that says it's me, and you're like, how in the world is she talking when she's got mascara in her hand? Karen and Kayla are in the background, and they're running the whole show. Thank God. And Karen has been a blessing. She's only been doing this for less than 12 hours, and she's already figured out a lot that Kayla and I had no clue. One thing that's new to my live, I don't know if it worked today, but I'll just tell y'all that I had no ads in my lives. So I've been doing all these lives not getting paid a dime. Okay. Not that I'm looking for a payment per se. I go live because I hope to make a difference. That's part of me giving back with my nonprofit. But how nice would it be if I actually got a little bit of feed money to go with my live? And a lot of you are like, I wish I could give. As a matter of fact, somebody messaged me this morning and said, I wish I had money to give your farm. Honey, when you're on my live and the commercial hits my live, if you watch it, you just gave me money. You don't have to physically write me a check. No one does. No one does. Don't feel like you have to do that. I want to know, did a commercial come in here? Did a commercial come? It was supposed to come in 30 minutes. Karen, did it come? Did you see it? Y'all had no ads? Not sure what happened. We'll have to look into it. But basically, it'll give me, by putting ads in my live, it's not always, what happened to my eyelashes? I work hard, y'all. I know y'all know that. I work hard. I will tell you, routine is not good for me. Okay, I don't do well with routine. It causes me anxiety. If I know that I have to do something, I have anxiety. So, um, doing these lives on Monday and Wednesday mornings, it is a job for me. I'm not gonna lie, it is. It doesn't come natural per se. Um, so doing the commercials in my live, it helps me with feed. So if you want to support my farm, you can watch the commercial. If you hate my guts and think that I'm ridiculous for putting on makeup and I do nothing for you but get on your nerves, you can just skip the live and you don't have to watch it, and I won't get extra feed money. Okay? So it's your choice. You know, in life you have choices. You can support me or you can choose to skip. And if you're not feeling the commercial for the day and you're like, I don't support what she's saying, skip. You have the control of whether I get feed money or not. That's what I want you to understand. And I've been really trying to teach y'all that you don't have to stroke me a check to support my farm. That's not my goal. It's not my goal. Um my goal is to make a difference. All right, my eyelashes are a train wreck. Do I look like I would be on a video? I need some hairspray, but I hadn't gone to the store yet. Look, I'm in my pajama pants. See, I'm a train wreck too. Thank y'all for joining me this morning. I'm sorry I was long-winded, but I had a lot to say. Connie, you have choices, Connie. When I say you can sit it out or you can dance, sitting it out is continuing to be in the chaos that you're in, continuing to be miserable in your own home. To dance is to break it down and figure out why this is bothering you so bad. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting proper nutrition? Do you need to go to the doctor? What do you need to do to take care of yourself? Do you need a vacation? Do you need to go buy countertops? What do you need to take care of you? That is dancing. So today, when you get those choices, I hope you dance. I will see y'all soon. Love you. Bye.